Hello, 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 loves. Welcome to another episode of Flip the Script with Vic. It's your host, Victoria Nielsen. Today, it's time for another solo episode. You guys have been requesting more Akashic Records forecasts. So, we're going to get back to that once a month before the next month starts. So, at the end of every month, I will be sharing an Akashic forecast for the next month so that you can feel prepared and forewarned and maybe a little bit better about the energy that's coming in 2026. So, if you don't know what the Akashic Records are, they're really just a healing, energetic frequency that absolutely anyone can access for the guidance that they need in the moment. I have some previous episodes that go deeper into exactly what they are, how I access them, my journey of healing with the Akashic Records, all of those good things. So if you want to hit pause and go back and listen to some of those first, please do, because they are so vast. The Akasha means the totality of all. So really the Akashic Records contain everything and anything that has happened, can happen, and will happen. But we all have free will, right? So as you listen to this transmission, this message, maybe some of these things resonate with you and you're like, absolutely, hell yeah, Victoria, that makes total sense. Maybe some of these messages aren't for you or they don't make sense right now for where you're at in your current timeline. That's okay. You can let them go and move forward with love. So, everything that's coming through is for anyone that's listening right now because really it feels like more than ever, we need to step into our power this year, guys. We need to step into our own internal guidance systems. The world is only going to get louder and louder and louder. And if we are not grounded in who we are and in our own energy, it's going to get really easy to let that noise, that loudness outside of us cause fear, confusion, stress. And that's not what we want in 2026, right? We want to feel grounded in our own energy. We want to feel really good about life. And that starts with you. Okay. And that starts with your own energy. And that starts with you maybe taking some steps this month to quiet that outside noise. So maybe you don't have a meditation practice. Maybe you don't take enough time for yourself and you know that. Let this be a little gentle reminder, a little pebble from the universe that taking care of yourself first is going to be super important in February, especially as we come up to the first eclipse of eclipse season, which I believe is February 17th. And the eclipse windows are already open. I learned this from the astrologer Danielle Page that essentially the 4 weeks before an eclipse and the 4 weeks after, you're still going to feel the energy. So as you're listening to this, you may already feel the energy of eclipse season, and eclipses are doors of fate. What does that mean? It means that shit's going to happen that is meant for you. But that may mean that things need to crumble. So things happen very suddenly during eclipses if you are not currently on the right path. So you may find out you're pregnant. You may lose a pregnancy. You may move houses. You may get divorced. You may get married. All of these kind of big life changes happen during eclipse season to right you, realign you back to the highest, most optimal path for you. And I want you to keep that perspective in February that everything is happening for you and not to you. Because I get the sense that for some of you listening, February is going to be a bit of a roller coaster and might be a bit tumultuous. And as much as that sounds awful, you need some of that change to get you where you need to go. And the universe is always conspiring in your favor and is always trying to help you get to that highest, most optimal timeline. And when people talk about timelines, really all that means is like the path or the next step forward that is getting you into a higher state of consciousness, a higher state of being, and letting you actually see yourself from that higher perspective to realize that you are a child of God. You are God. Like you are of source energy. There is no difference between you and source. And the more that you can dissolve those barriers this month, the more supported that you're going to feel. So, as I mentioned, eclipses have like faded energy, right? So, last eclipse season, or shit, maybe this was two eclipse seasons ago. I think it was two eclipse seasons ago. I was pregnant by surprise. Like it it happened. We were like not trying, but we were super excited, right? Well, I ended up losing the pregnancy. And while that was really sad, I wasn't very far along. I was like 6 weeks along, and there was just nothing that grew in the amniotic sac. And to me, having that miscarriage happen was what needed to occur so that I could build my business, so that I could step into this next level of my expansion. If I had a third baby right now, I absolutely know I would not be in the current place that I'm in now, where I was able to leave my corporate job, where I have been supporting my family, where I'm growing my business, where I'm building Monarch Mystery School. All of these wonderful things wouldn't, I don't believe would have happened, or would maybe just be starting now. Because again, things that are meant for you are never going to pass you by, but it's all about timing, right? And the timing speeds up when you allow yourself to move through the things that occur to you for your highest good. So that miscarriage, both of my miscarriages were for my highest good to move me along on my life path. So I give that to you as an example that if some of the things that occur this eclipse season feel like they are quote unquote bad, let's reframe them, right? Let's look at a new perspective and realize that actually it may feel kind of shitty in the moment, but that a few weeks from now, a few months from now, a few years from now, this thing had to happen to get you where you need to go. Okay. So tapping back into that energy, right? Let's not let fear win in February. Okay. There's fear rising on the planet because a lot feels uncertain. There's a lot happening in the US right now. There's a lot coming to light. It's going to continue to come to light. And it is our job to be the natural, neutral observer, to not let ourselves get pulled into the polarity because it almost feels like in February, we're starting to see two different realities occur. What do I mean by that? You're going to have the people that are in what I would like to call a cult in the US, especially right now. That's all I'm going to say on that. But you're going to see them like double down on their beliefs. And you perhaps are going to double down on these different beliefs, this new way of being, this awakening that is occurring within you. And because of that, it's going to feel a bit disparate. The energy is almost going to feel like, why can't we see each other? Why can't we come together? Does this have to be so polarizing? And it's because the energy is split essentially. And each of you are experiencing a different reality now. And it's based on your perception and your perspective. And at any time, you can shift the reality that you're observing, but it's going to just become like far more apparent that some of us are ascending. We are moving into the 4D and the 5D, and we are really shifting our reality in a positive way. And then you're going to see that there are some people that are stuck in the mud of the 3D and they're digging their heels in. And unlike the lotus, they're not going to be able to see the light, or they are going to be following a false light. So let's not get trapped in that dynamic, right? Like, let's not let ourselves get trapped in the polarization and cause more hate. This is not about causing more hate. This is actually about bringing more love to the situation. So if you're one of those that is on that higher timeline, that is ascending, that is moving into higher dimensions of consciousness, which just means that you can accept and feel more love in the world, let's keep spreading that. Okay. Let's hold on to that energy, even when things feel a little bit rocky, even maybe when things feel like they're falling apart. There's going to be a lot of tower moments for people in February. And the tower in tarot is that crumbling. And it can feel really scary, but it's necessary. There are systems and ways of being that need to crumble now so that we can bring in this new Aquarian energy. And Aquarius is all about community. It's all about coming together. So in February, lean into your communities, lean into your friends and into those spaces that feel really safe. You know, I feel like maybe I'll be bringing back some full moon circles in February, or maybe some eclipse circles. Okay. Ooh, thanks, Records. That feels Good. I'm burping, moving energy. So I'm just going to speak into existence. I'm going to maybe hold some, I am going to hold some Eclipse support circles in February. So please look out for that. Because the more that we can come together and be in community, we can realize that we're not alone and that we don't need to be hyper vigilant in our independence. So many of us are hyper vigilant because we've been surviving. And that's the way that we have learned how to cope. But we're not really coping anymore, sis. Like now you're holding yourself back. You're keeping yourself from that next level because you are living in fight or flight. Your body doesn't feel safe and you feel like you have to constantly be on high alert, especially with what's happening in the world. And that's an old story that our bodies are ready to get rid of. Our spiritual energies, our energetic bodies are ready to get rid of. And so it's time. Like let's do that together. Let's move that energy because fear doesn't belong here. Okay? I mean, fear is healthy. We need a healthy dose of fear to keep ourselves safe. Our ego is just doing its job by protecting us, but sometimes we have to override that energy and walk through it anyway. We have to do it scared. We have to do it without 100% of the answers, and that's what I feel like in February is like we got to keep the faith that we're being supported and that what's happening, even if it looks quote unquote bad from the outside, having that inner faith that actually it's all going to be okay and that we are divinely supported and that we haven't been left here to like figure things out on our own because we haven't. You have tools like the Akashic Records. You have beautiful communities like the ones that I'm building with Monarch Mystery School. And even within the Portal Collective, I have my online Kundalini Yoga membership for the woman who wants to transform on her own terms. Use the resources that you have, or perhaps this month find some new resources that feel good. If the ways that you've been supporting yourself don't feel good anymore, don't do them. Just because you maybe have invested in something or feel like you have to see something through, that's not true. If it's starting to feel really icky in your body this month, if it's starting to feel like it's actually not supporting you and it's making you feel like the opposite, let it go. Let it go with love. And then that will make space for what is meant to come forward. So this month is a bit of that polarizing energy, right? A month of maybe letting go of what you thought your life was going to be like in 2026 so that you can actually usher in what is meant for you because everything that is meant for you is already on its way to you. And the only thing that's keeping you from having it right now is you and your energy and your perspective and you clinging so tightly to what you think is safety. It's actually not. Safety is created within the body, within yourself. And so if you're not feeling safe in your vessel, in your physical body, that's the first thing that needs to be cultivated because anything that you're clinging to outside of yourself for safety can leave at any time. Like that's just the truth. Whereas you will never abandon yourself. You will always be the thing that's with you and that guides you. So why would you not cultivate that relationship, that conversation, that trust muscle within yourself? That's going to be the thing that serves you most in 2026 is being able to trust yourself because things around you are going to be moving, changing, shifting at such a rapid rate that yeah, we can't put our faith in those things outside of ourselves. You got to put faith in yourself, especially this year, especially as yeah, eclipse season comes to like really, really shake things up. Let me see if anything else is coming through. Lots of third eye expansion this month. So if you start to get headaches, if you start to maybe feel like physical pressure in the middle of the forehead at the third eye space, like massage it, gently massage the top of the head. Like let it come. Let it come because so many more of us are waking up right now. And it's happening in divine time and exactly the time that it's meant to. And so support yourself. Maybe you have more spiritual awakening symptoms coming online. Maybe you have ringing in your ears. Maybe you are starting to feel not weird in your body, but like starting to notice more subtle energies around you. Like your intuition is always speaking through the five senses. So notice and just observe what your senses are feeling. Are you starting to get a deeper sense of just knowing within the body? Do you feel like you are getting more vivid dreams, perhaps, or having more visuals in meditation? Maybe you're kind of hearing things like you hear, like I said, those bells ringing in your ears, or perhaps like you hear someone calling your name and then you turn around and no one's there. Like all of this is natural, like spiritual awakening and ascension symptoms that I think people don't talk about enough. And then they feel crazy because they're like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. What's going on, sis? You are waking up. Okay. Um, those are all the big messages. The Akashic Records is nothing but love and is reminding you that you are that love and you can be that love whenever you want to. And so, if you want support on that journey, Akashic Awakening, my 4-week group program to heal and access and learn how to connect with your own Akashic record, we just started. There is still time to jump in. You will be so supported by this beautiful community of women, by myself, and you'll also get to play and heal and connect in the Akashic records. We will start at the root chakra and go up through the heart, moving through those chakras, removing any blockages, any karmic stories, any karmic contracts, and really work on moving that energy and opening your heart so that you can receive this love that's out there. You can receive this love from the records, from your community, from those around you. So, thank you so much for listening. If this forecast resonated with you, if you could please like, share, rate, subscribe, review, share it with a woman who needs to know what's coming up in February, I would so appreciate it. This podcast only grows because of my beautiful listeners and the women in this community. So thank you for being here with me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for showing up. Send me a DM on Instagram if you have any questions about the Akashic Records, about the energy, about all the things. I'm an open book and I love to share with you guys. So give me a shout at Victoria Margot Nielsen on Instagram. And yeah, be good to one another, you guys. I love you so much. Taking a second to just be in the energy of the records, feeling that transmission, feeling your cells rearranging as you hear my voice. Hmm. The records are now closed. Amen. The records are now closed. Amen. The records are now closed. Amen. Love you guys. I'll see you real soon.